The music of your life with me, Darren Clark. And we welcome this morning, it's a Saturday morning recording time with Joanne Shelley. Good morning, Joanne.
Good morning, Darren. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Not so bad, honey. Not so bad.
It's a bit of an odd thing over Zoom, but we'll see how it goes. I'm enjoying this new way of using technology. And how are you with technology normally?
Well, I'm not amazing, but I get by.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I want to start straight away by going to beginnings. You picked two songs. Please Release Me by Englebert Humberdink and Anything You Said by Luther Vandross. We'll come to Luther Vandross in a moment. Why Englebert Humberdink?
Well, that was because my dad used to be a singer. So when I grew up, all the way through my life, I would always hear my dad singing Please Release Me everywhere, on holiday, at home, and everything. And it was just, he reminded me of Englebert Humberdink. You know, they were very similar. And Calvin, my son, I even woke up one morning to Calvin finding a video of me dad singing Please Release Me. So he'd found it when he was 2, put it in the video, and he's standing dancing in front of the Shelley shouting, Grandad, Grandad. So I woke up to the sound of me dad singing Please Release Me.
Fabulous. Was that
and he's 26 now, so.
That was only last week.
Hello.
Did your dad, which you say that your dad used to be a singer, was that all that kind of music through when you were growing up?
Yeah, that's because he used to do rock and roll and everything, you know. So it was an Englebert Humberdink, Tom Jones. That's the kind of singer he was, you know. So that you heard that a lot in the house.
And so when you hear that kind of music, that does that take us through? Is it time for you to reminisce, kind of thing?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've actually started singing some of Englebert just because my dad used to do it, because it makes me smile.
There's a big thing that we talk about. We've got what music does to somebody, whether they listen to the voice or they listen to the music, and the music always emotes these emotional feelings, and reminiscence a big thing about it. As you get older, we'll talk about the importance of the vocalist into what you learn from people, like especially the Luther Vandross. I'm very want to know a lot about that one. Why do they? Because it's a big thing. You've got Englebert Humberdink and then Luther Vandross. It's quite a big difference. Well, how?
Yes, a massive. It's just because I just think, for me, Luther Vandross was the pinnacle of velvet voice, you know, and everything he sang, everything he released, I just thought was absolutely unreal. And like you said a minute ago, with regards to some songs that will bring you to tears, I can't actually listen to Luther Vandross sing Dance With My Father because it just makes me cry. And yet my dad is still here. He's still with us. You know what I mean? He's not dead. But it just takes me back to when I was a kid and my dad used to carry me around in his arms dancing, you know, and it's just, I just think he's the only man, the only singer, Luther Vandross, that's ever made me cry like that, and still does to this day.
Wow. And it's so, it is. It's a great thing to talk about the because I listen to a song and I go, well, that sounds great because that guitar sounds great, those harmonies are great. But there's also certain songs I listen to that, same as you, make me bawl my eyes out.
Yeah.
Was there any other songs from that era that make you do that, or was it just generally the songs that reminded you of your dad? Oh, no,
it's only that one song.
Yeah,
it is only that one song, you know. I mean, I can listen to Englebert Humberdink and that just makes me smile, and Tom Jones and everything. But it just, Englebert, Dance With My Father's just, it breaks me heart. It's like I've already lost him, and he's not even gone yet. You know what I mean? But I just think, you know, I can't listen to it. Even 8 o'clock in the morning, you know, it comes on and I have to turn it off because I'll cry.
Oh, bless.
Soft, you know. People got me the wrong way.
You're just soft as clouds, really, aren't you? Soft as clouds.
I am.
The second song you said in your choice, Anything by Luther Vandross, and you've just obviously explained why, because his voice is good. His voice is the voice to match, isn't it? There's just something about his voice that just made the hairs on your neck stand up and stuff like that. But you just said Anything.
Yeah, I just think anything he's ever sang, you know, watched him live in concert, and I mean, unfortunately not. I'm only on the television, you know.
Yeah.
I never got to see him live, but I just watched his DVDs and things, and I just think he's outstanding, you know. And watching behind the scenes how he put the concert together, and how he actually tells these backing singers, how he controls the thing, he tells the singers what to sing. He's pitch perfect, absolutely pitch perfect.
He certainly is.
So I think he's awesome.
And we'll stay where that is as well, that second part, because obviously it's a little bit later on from Englebert Humberdink when he released Please Release Me. You've got a musical family though, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, I've got, well, like I said, my dad used to be a singer, and my sister used to be a singer, and now my nephew is now starting to tread the boards as well. He's going to be, well, he is a singer now.
And he's going to be coming over to Tenerife as well. Yeah, the Von Traps.
He's moving over here. Yeah, he's moving over here when everything kind of calms down.
And your brother was a DJ, wasn't he?
Yeah, he used to do, you know, like you'd have a wedding or an anniversary or a birthday, and you'd book a DJ, and that was Kev, my brother. So he used to come in, and he was madly into soul, you know. So he was a big influence in that respect as well, you know. And he used to play all of the soul classics, your Alexander O'Neill and your Brownstone and your Luther Vandross and all that kind of stuff. So it's just he had some fantastic taste in music. I have to give him that.
I want to go on from I want to go on from that to the... We move on to section number 2, teens to adulthood, and how did you change them? So you've got your father's influence, you've got your family's influence, I suppose, including your brother's influence, and then you start singing, because you started singing from quite an early age, didn't you?
Yeah, 18. 18, God.
What did you start picking up when you were, what did you learn from your early days of your singing, your early days, music-wise? What did you pick up?
Because my dad basically trained me to go on stage, we just chose the songs together, and what in the beginning, and what he suggested some songs, and I'd try them. So he kind of led me down the path where, because I've got a very similar voice to my dad with regards to powerful and kind of. Also, he kind of pushed us in the right direction to help me make the better choices. So I ended up going down that route to the likes of your Whitneys and your kind of power ballads in that respect, you know.
Yeah, because it's great. We go to teens to adulthood, your style is one, and then when we move on from there, your style changes again. So I just want to concentrate on the 80s kind of section. Never 2 song choices for teens to adulthood. Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley and How Will I Know. We'll come to Whitney in a moment, but I'm Never Gonna Give You Up. Rick Astley, why?
Well, I first heard Rick Astley in 1986, and we were in Benidorm in a nightclub, because I lived in Benidorm for a year, and we were over there.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You lived in Benidorm for a year.
Oh, I can boat.
Did you keep that quiet or something?
86 till 87. Wow. I was only 16 when I moved.
Was your dad singing over there?
No, yeah, we've got a bar over there.
What was the bar called?
The Grey Horse.
Get up there.
Yeah, so I worked in the bar.
Oh, wow.
Bars and everything. So, yeah, I wasn't...
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, something about one of my best friends that I didn't even know about. But how about that? Brilliant. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Back. Yeah, you were saying a bar, you were in Benidorm for a year.
Oh, yeah, so then this song started playing. I think it followed Sabrina Boys, 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 if you remember that.
Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah, most men do. So,
yeah, Sabrina, yeah.
Yeah, bouncing out of the pool, wasn't she?
That's right, she wasn't.
No, bikini, yes. Not exactly flat-chested, was she?
No, she was not.
No. So this song followed this Sabrina, and I thought, who's that? And he's just had, I mean, not trying to sound racist or anything, he had a black-sounding voice.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just thought it was absolutely amazing. And then to find out, I made it one of my things to find out who he was, because I just thought the song was amazing. And to find out that he looked the way he did was completely different to how the voice sounded. And that was me. I was just in love then. He was all over me walls and posters. And I was like...
It was kind of like it was kind of like the Lisa Stansfield effect, wasn't it? When you heard her sing, you go, "Oh my goodness!" and you heard the voice, you went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
Completely
it's just unreal, isn't he?
He had that beauty. I believe he had that beauty. He still has got that great silky. He had a great pitch.
Oh, you know what it is? He still has. I saw him a couple of years ago, just before I came over here, and I had a chance to go and see him live in Newcastle, and he's never changed. He was absolutely outstanding. And he came out, and I stood there screaming like a 13-year-old girl. Honestly, I thought I was going to cry.
Fantastic. although I do have to say his dancing was always a bit sus.
Yeah, it was a bit questionable, but he knew that, you know. He took the mick out of himself a little bit, so the women just started laughing and screaming anymore.
Oh, bless you all.
This is the standing next to us going, "For God's sake, will you calm down?" I'm going, God.
And we'll move on then. Let's move on quickly then before you get all teary again.
Before I need an ambulance.
We'll move on to Whitney Houston. Was it the big power ballads or the big voice that?
Yeah. It was the power ballads that did it, you know what I mean? She was the queen of the day, wasn't she? And she everything she released was just amazing. And I'm like, wow, she just had, you know, I went out and bought the dress for how well I know that the skinny tube dress she had on. And I remember paying like £40 for it. And I was 17, 18.
Oh, wow.
I was thin back then, you know, and I'm like, I thought I was the bee's knees in this dress. Well, I think back now, I'm like, my God. But yeah, I just thought she was amazing. I think everybody did.
Yeah, they did, absolutely. Going back to that time, did you start to look at the people rather than the music itself, do you think? Because it seems to be the emotional pull for the Englebert Humberdink and the Luther Vandross, and then it's pure pop, isn't it? In the 1980s, it's the Stock Aitken and Waterman thing. Do you think you went to the icons, the singers themselves, rather than the music?
I did a bit of both, actually, because I started to appreciate, because obviously at this point then I started singing, and then I started to appreciate the technical ability and how hard it was to sing the likes of Whitney Houston and that kind of style of music. And then, so I used to find it, how do I put it? I found it, I liked
inspirational, almost inspirational.
Yeah, I like the challenge. Yeah. I'm thinking, I want to be that way, and I want to do that, and I want to sound like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't sound anything like Whitney Houston, but I liked having a go at it, and I liked technical songs that would challenge me, which I thought was awesome. But then in the next breath, the likes of Stock Aitken and Waterman, I thought all their songs, they were just like hit factory, weren't they?
Yeah,
and
they were.
I sang everything, and they were very clever with that, because when they released the singles of all the dance acts that they had, they put the instrumentals on the back of the tape or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think everybody in Dublin was singing it. So, and from that, I was inspired from that to try and, obviously everybody's the same, to try and make it big. So then I went to Stock Aitken and Waterman Studios to record an album.
Oh, fantastic! I didn't know that either. Wow.
Yeah, to try and get one foot in the door, because you never know. I mean, Rick Astley used to be a T-boy in there, so I'm like, well, you just don't know. So I went down there and nothing happened. So, but I went.
We're going to move on to your career in the next section. But was there any other bands that you loved during that time when you were a teen, when you were just about to start your singing career? Was there anything else that different from the norm? Or because for me, the reason I ask is, for me, it was Stock Aitken and Waterman almost all the way.
Yeah.
Was there anything different for you?
I did go through a little bit of because I got a sports car. My first car was a sports car, because I lived at home and I had more money than sense. So I bought the sports car, and I thought I was all like, you know, amazing. And then I heard this one song again, and I thought, well, I need some music for my car. So I got a tape, and the tape was Def Leppard. And I had their album in the car, so I was kind of starting to get into the kind of soft rock as well at that point, but I just never saw myself as singing it at that point. So, but I liked it. I used to like to listen to it.
And that's a great link then to our next section, don't you think? Very good. Yes. That very good. So there you go. So yeah, very good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that feed there. section that I've been really looking forward to is this one, career. And you, when you were talking just before there about you wanting to make it big, you went to stock kick and walking in the studio. When did you get that bug that you wanted to? Was it a case that you wanted to be famous?
Yeah, it was. The thing is, though, didn't everybody at that point?
Yeah, absolutely.
We all start off at whatever age, and you aspire to be, or you want to be a pop star.
Yeah.
And the things I turned down going on like the Cunard to do the cruises because they booked a year in advance, and my dad had filled me head with these aspirations, and I'm like, well, I can't do that because I'm going to be on Top of the Pops next year.
Yeah.
And it's like when I look back at it, I'm going, "You're a muppet. You're an absolute muppet." So yeah, I think everybody did.
Did you because that bug kind of stayed with you for a while?
It really is grueling. It's grueling that you have to you put yourself through it because you're putting yourself up for judgment, and criticism, and it's really hard. I've been into some competitions and I've had write-ups about me and I've had harsh things said to the point where I'm like, and it knocks your confidence, and you really have to start to have a bit of thick skin to get through it. But the problem is, if you're a singer like me, that's all I've ever done, and it's all I've ever wanted to do. And if I don't sing, I go stir crazy, and it's just in my blood. So to the point of saying I couldn't never stop trying to do things because the experiences you have, trying to get on these shows or even getting on these shows is phenomenal, And you never know. Jane McDonald didn't make it until she was later on,
How age?
I wouldn't even say I would stop now, but I'm not saying I'm doing anything.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just, it's great exposure, and you do have such a laugh. You really do. Yeah,
I remember you told me this tale about when you were on The Voice as diva, and Maxine, she was at Greg's, and you brought in some scones or whatever it was for Tom and Jones, and he couldn't have them. What was the story again?
Well, Maxine, she used to work in Greg's, so she says, I brought Sir Tom some cakes, and I'm going, really? She was going, yeah. So she took them in. It was the day we were going through the song choice for the battle round. I brought them in, and he went, "That's great, thank you very much," for the camera. But then they stopped rolling, and he says, "I'm really sorry, I can't take these because they can't accept gifts like that, because if he eats them, they could be poisoned." It's bizarre because there must be some bad people out there, Maxine's like, "I brought these all the way from Greg's in Washington," and he's like, and everybody else is going, I'll eat them," but he couldn't take them. But I must add as well, his body's a temple, so I don't think he's a cake eater as it is.
What was it like working with Sir Tom Jones?
Oh, he's amazing. You know what I mean? The man's a legend, isn't he?
Was it one of those moments that had on pinch me kind of thing?
Well, he stood there, but this once again, when we were around the piano, and they turned around, the team turned around and went, "We can't hear you. We need to fix your mic." So as we stood there, and you're expecting, a man of a certain age, he's not young as Tom, and so they lifted his top up, and at this point, you could just see this washboard stomach, and I think Maxine hit me, and I think I had to hold her up, because I was just going, "Oh my God, look at this." And I'm like, the man must have been 178 or something at the time when he's standing there, and what a figure. I don't know if he's getting that from just from Slimming World, or he's getting that somewhere else.
I think so.
But I tell you what, wow, for a man his age, he looked tremendous.
So do you think that helps for him to keep his voice like that? Obviously, a washboard stomach means he doesn't exactly sit on his backside all day eating cake like me. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, they said that Tom Jones was one of the hardest working coaches they'd ever had on The Voice. His work ethic is impeccable. He says they get the young ones coming in and like, "Oh, we need to take a break," and yet he was like, no, come on, well, let's push through this, we can do this, and everything. But I think with regards to his fitness, his voice, if you have a voice and it's like a muscle, and if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
And he's never stopped singing for all the years, You have to keep the voice in tune. It has to be worked out as a muscle would. Otherwise, you lose the control. So then you lose the technical ability with it.
What did you take then from Tom Jones? Did you learn from his whole ethos to his singing life?
Just because you don't actually get to work with him a lot. They give you a singing teacher. We had Eva Burnett, and she's absolutely outstanding.
She's Scottish, isn't she?
Yeah, and she's
Yes,
funny.
she's
really funny and very natural. She coaches Subu, Susan Boyle.
Oh, right, yeah, Subu. Look at that, like your pal, Subu.
So she coaches her, but she's very natural, and she helps you a lot in that. When we were on The Voice, so I think that's more. I took more from her than I did him, but. Yeah, you just aspire to be him, don't you? You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. So it's a great thing just to move on then to your song choices for this one. Your style changed, like we mentioned earlier, from the bubblegum pop, Stop It Walking, we thank you for that, to Foreigner, Waiting for a Girl Like You, and you said Anything by Journey except Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
So I chose a song that I absolutely love hearing you, and I know Rick loves hearing you sing as well, Faithfully.
Oh, nice.
Tell me about the rock section. I mean, I kind of know anyway, but just for everybody else, what was the change? I know you had your sports car and you started playing Def Leppard and stuff like that, but what was the band I'm more, I suppose, interested in? And that shift from bubblegum pop to rock, how did that come about for your singing? Obviously?
Well, I started hanging about with degenerates like yourself.
Yes.
It was,
is that the keelboard days, is it?
Oh, yes, that was it.
Yeah.
And it was, and everybody that all the friends that I started to have seemed to be a lot more into that kind of music, I think. And then obviously, as the years went by, and then had a band, and the band was going to be rock. It was just an idea, and then that was it. I had a rock band for 10 years, which was like, bizarre, because I never thought I'd have a band as such, a live band, but they were tremendous,
Looking back on Brigade, the rock band, what did you learn from that? What did you learn for your singing?
I learned that singing rock is a lot harder than singing some other stuff, and technically it is a different way of singing as well. At one point I was singing so much rock that I found it hard to sing the likes of your Beyonce and stuff like that, and Whitney, because you have to attack the notes in a different way. So it was really hard at one point to kind of flip between the two, because I hadn't done it for a while. So it took me a while to swing, to be able to, it's going to sound wrong, swing both ways.
Hey. So,
get on there.
Yeah, and so I suppose what you've done is kind of, because of you singing the Whitney Houston stuff like that, and then singing the rock stuff, do you find that overall you've improved your voice at that time?
I do eventually, yeah, because it was I kind of pushed it as well, so I kind of got a couple of more notes out of it, if you like, stretched my range a little bit. So yeah, once I kind of got back into the swing of things of singing both your pop stuff and your rock stuff, then yeah, I was really quite happy with where it was going. I found that I could sing your pop stuff easier, which is a bit bizarre.
All right.
But yeah.
So we'll go on what we'll do then. We'll just come on with the songs, and so
I don't need it anymore. Those songs are broken. They just sound like a slamming door.
A great section this for me, because this delves into how weird people are. It's guilty pleasure, and your guilty pleasure was Wham, Edge of Heaven. Were you a whammy? Were you a whammy when you were growing up?
Oh, definitely, man. They were amazing, weren't they?
Did you know about the shuttlecocks down the pants and stuff like that? And that was the rumor.
I didn't want to know that. I was only a kid. I just thought they were amazing.
What did you like? What did you like about them? Was it the whole George Michael, the way he looked, and because nobody liked Andrew originally, did they?
Well, I did like Andrew Ridgey because I felt sorry for him, because I thought nobody liked him. I don't like to leave anybody out,
As it's a guilty pleasure, if you look back on Wham now, what do you think of the music?
Oh, I think it's still awesome. I think it stands a test of time. Oh, I mean, George Michael is amazing. You know, he's a tremendous writer, and the songs that they released, I think they're fantastic. I don't think he's done a bad song, to be honest.
Is it a kind of song that gets you moving when you play it, or yeah, when you hear it, you start dancing? And you know, is it that kind of song for you?
Makes me smile. Yeah, it just makes me smile. Oh, I mean, people go, Edge of Heaven, really? Of all the songs, I'm like, yeah, mate. I mean, Wake Me Up Before You Go and everything. It's been done to death and everything, isn't it? But
yeah,
I think Edge of Heaven's just like, I'm like, it just makes me, go like that. Weak at the knees. I don't know why.
I suppose that can cast my mind back to one of those nights of you're in Madison's nightclub or the Ritzy or whatever, and you hear a song like that. The dance floor does get full. It's just one of those songs, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
And you will look at your other favourites as well. I asked you to provide 2 other favourites, and we would speak about them. And if you had time to play them, I'm going to play them because they're cracking songs. You asked for another Rick Astley song. I've chose Whenever You Need Somebody, because I personally think it's a cracking song. It's got the same. If you listen to the song, which I'll play in a moment, the same intro, the drum beats, it's the same as so many 80s songs. It's kind of almost a copy and paste kind of job.
Yes, it is.
But I love it. But I was really interested for the one that you did want to pick, which was I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Why?
That was because when that first came out, it kind of stopped me in my tracks. At this point, I was singing and developing my voice and sang quite a lot of her stuff. But then I heard that and I was like, wow, that's breathtaking. And technically, it was brilliant. And I just thought I really, really needed to sing this. And I sang it for years and years and years. And I loved it. I loved singing it. I just think it's an iconic tune of the time we were living in at that point. You know, I thought it was amazing, absolutely amazing.
So what we do now, we'll just do you. Looking through all from the beginnings through teens to adulthood, your career, and then to now, what have you learned about your feelings towards music? How has your feelings changed towards music? Did you become more enamored with a style of music more so than others? How was your journey in terms of overall?
Do you know what it is? I think across the course of the years, I learned that all different styles of music can affect people. I think that's what, I've seen people cry to songs that I've sung from like the 1960s, but I've also seen people cry from songs that I've sung in the rock band when we did like ballads and in the rock band, Open Arms and more Journey stuff, and things like that. So I learned that music touches everybody in different ways, and it doesn't even have to be the same kind of genre.
And the question I'm going to end off with is a question I'll ask anybody else: is what makes you keep going as a singer?
Because I can't actually stop. That's the top of it. I can't actually stop, honestly. When we went into lockdown, the idea of not singing for what was supposed to be 2 weeks was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Not sing for 2 weeks. And then it just, I physically go insane if I don't sing. So you started, like, and you were doing, so you do your lockdown shows from your terrace every Sunday. Every Sunday, yeah.
So if you could just tell everybody then where to go to if they want to watch it.
If you look at Shelley, UK vocalist, that's Shelley EY, UK vocalist, you'll find me there at 2:00 every Sunday afternoon. All of the shows that I've done are still on there. Nothing's removed on Facebook. So if you just have a look at Facebook, look for Shelley UK vocalist and you'll find me on there.
Thank you very much, Shelley. This has been the music of your life. Have you enjoyed it?
We sound like Eamon Holmes, Shelley. This has been your life. We got a big ring boot there, Darren.
This is your life. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, I had a really good time. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Music of Your Life with Darren Clark.
And held high, looking so fine.